So it was my brother-in-law's birthday this weekend, and we took a trip to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Wow, most of us lost money, and one of us made money. I walked around and was interested in what I got right here, which is a bunch of cash-out vouchers. It seems that when people go to the slot machines and go to video game machines and they're finished, they walk away without realizing there's a credit left on the account, and they simply could cash it out and go to the cashier and move on. Now, for whatever reason, either they don't know or the amount is just too small for them, picking up loose change could be definitely a career for someone who wants to run around and grab these things. It got me thinking about a loose change strategy that I want to talk to you about now on this video. So, let's get started, and I'm going to show you how to pick up some loose change in the stock market. Hey everyone, Tom Gentile. Welcome to Tom's Trading Room. And you know what we do here? We spot rules-based opportunities and create alternative risk trades that are simply buying and going long holding the stock. Do me a favor right now if you haven't yet. Hit that like button. It helps the algorithm and helps support this channel. Also, if you hit subscribe and ding the bell, you will get videos like this as soon as they are uploaded. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Before I do, just real quick, guys, this disclaimer, we put this on every one of our videos going forward. Very quickly, you could read this in its entirety. All you got to do is stop tape right here. I'm going to mention two quick things, though, before we begin. Number one, stock and options trading has large potential rewards and also large potential risk. And number two, I'm not an investment advisor. I'm merely showing you how I spot opportunity and create alternative risk trades myself. All right, so picking up loose change. So my trip to the Hard Rock this weekend really got me thinking about the short-term options trading strategy that I want to share with you. It involves looking at the intraday market as well as intraday patterns in stocks and ETFs. So let's take a look at some, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to slide over, and I want to start first with the overall market. So as you can see here, I'm looking at SPY. This is the S&P 500. This is the ETF. As you can see here, there's green on the screen. What does this tell me? Well, it tells me that since 9:30 in the morning, the market had, for the first hour of the day, had an opening hour high at around 394.67, had an opening hour low down here at 393.35. It did fall early in the day, but then came roaring back and has now moved above the opening hour high, changing the entire screen to what we call green. So we are having a green day on the SPY. I can look at this in literally everything. This is TLT, the bond market. If I go over to UUP, this is the cash market. And right now you can see that TLT and UUP are sitting inside of their opening hour windows. Oil is now above its opening hour window and has been since about noon. How about gold, GLD? Well, GLD did fall below its opening hour window earlier in the day, but it's come back into this window we see here. What does all this information tell me? Well, number one, it tells me this. If we are above our opening hour window, we are more than likely going to close above that opening hour window, so that's bullish. Same thing on the bear side. If we fall below the opening hour window or there in the afternoon, then I expect that the closing asset that's below that's going to continue to go below. So, you know, even with the SPY, as I showed you, being up on the day, what's a stock like Amazon looking like? Well, it's not on its opening hour day. How about Netflix, NFLX? It's come back, but it too is still inside the window. Apple's getting really close to breaking out above its opening hour area. But are there any ways that we can go back and look at stocks at any time during the intraday time frame and find patterns that have happened more often than not between certain times of the day? And the answer is yes, there are. So I have developed such a tool, and it is available on tomsoptiontools.com. But what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you the summary of looking at just the ETFs today. All right, so as I'm looking at this, I find that over the last 7 days, I've looked at looking at anything that's greater than 60% of the time. And what I found is that, for instance, EWZ. All right, if I click on EWZ, I notice it has a 100% pattern. What this means is that the last 7 trading days, this pattern going along at 10:25 in the morning and getting out at 12.35 has resulted in price moves that are small, from less than 25 cents up to 75 cents within that 2-hour window. All right, so as I look back 4 days ago, I could see that on the 9th of March, we started out at 31 and we moved up to 31.75 by the end of the pattern. And I could see this looking at any day of those last 7-day time frame. Take a look at GDX. GDX, the gold miners index, also had a 100% the last 7 days. This particular ETF has gone up between 12.45 and 14.55. All right, for those of you not on military time, that is 2:55 p.m. 12.45 to 2:55, we see GDX moving up in the afternoon. You can see what happened most recently, 4 trading days ago, 5 trading days ago, 6 trading days ago. You see what happens. In this case, we're seeing this pattern that just happens over and over again. So, how do you trade something like this if you find intraday patterns that continue to happen going forward? Well, what we simply do is we find the start time. In this case with EWZ, it is at 10:25 and the end time is 12:35. And if we like this pattern and we want to take a pattern like this going forward, it's very, very simple. What we then do is we go into our brokerage account and we're going to place a very simple trade on a very simple type of option. Okay, so I log into my Streetsmart Central Platform and I'm going to make sure that I'm ready to make a trade. I'm going to then type in the symbol, in this case EWZ, and I bring up the iShares Brazil ETF. And again, let's look one more time. This is a bullish opportunity because it's in green. So this is very simple. I have roughly a 2-hour window in which I'm going to place a call option on EWZ. And what I want to do is that I look at the 33 calls. First of all, I'm going to take the time frame that's closest to expiration because, again, I'm only going to be in this trade from 10:25 in the morning until 12:35 p.m. So, back to Streetsmart Central, and I'm going to buy to open however many number of contracts makes sense to you or I, all right? And I like looking at those options that are at to slightly in the money. So maybe I look at the 32 calls, for example. And I see they're trading 137 by 141. Anyway, my plan is to go in and do a market order. But it's a special type of market order. The market order I'm looking to do is using an advanced order. And that advanced order is what we call a contingent on time. This allows me to get into the market at a specified time of the day. So if I'm getting in at 10:25, I simply go in and I type in 10:25 a.m. on the day that I want to put this trade in, today's date, and I then set that trigger, and now this is a market order, buying to open the certain call options I'm looking for, all right, this week's calls that are slightly in the money, using a market order, but a market order that only happens at the specified date and time that we want it to. Now, just as easy it is to get filled, I want to also look and see, all right, well, what time am I getting out of this trade? I'm going to get out at 12:35 p.m. So once I'm filled on this particular order and I'm in a time pattern trade, I then want to look at closing that out. Maybe I close it out at a profit. If it goes up 25% or 50% or doubles in value, whatever your profit target is, maybe you get out then. But as you're approaching the time when the pattern is supposed to be over, sometimes the best thing to do is get out when the pattern is telling you to get out. And that would be to sell to close what you currently have on. And again, it would also be a market order. But this time what we're looking to do is to sell to close at the specified time to get out, which in this case, again, let's look one more time, 12:35 p.m., there it is. Put in 12:35 p.m., and set that trigger, and now you're ready to get out of any order that you've put in. Thank you for joining me on this quick video, guys. If you like it, please show me some love. Hit that like button below. And like I said before, if you subscribe to the videos and hit the bell, you'll get these as soon as they're released. Thanks again. Have a great day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.